Hi, in this video, we are going to discuss about what is embedded system. So, embedded system, that's nothing but combination of hardware and the software. See, usually what is mean by system? System that is nothing but a way of working and organizing some plan or some task. So usually one task or plan will be organized or it will be execute in a particular way. The same thing will happen in your embedded system also. So embedded system that is nothing but combination of hardware and a software. So when it comes to your embedded system, we are having two different things. One is software embedded, another one is hardware embedded. When it comes to your software embedded, we are having two different kind of memories. One is ROM, another one is RAM. So ROM is very important. ROM is known as programming memory. RAM is a secondary memory which is not needed. But nowadays, some modern boards like Arduino, Raspberry Pi, Banana Pi, that and all coming with RAM. So when you are going for embedded system, that is nothing but combination of software and hardware only. When you are going for this embedded system, like your hardware will work based on the software instruction. So if it's giving some instruction, based on that instruction only the hardware will execute. So combination of the software and hardware is what our embedded system is. The main important thing in your embedded system is processor. So processor, that is nothing but it's an process which is going to happen in your embedded system. In other words, we can tell the heart of the system is your processor. So your embedded processor, that is nothing but microprocessor which is used in your embedded system. So as if you are an embedded engineer or embedded designer, when you are planning to deal with the microprocessor and microcontroller, we need to follow some essential unit. One is control unit, another one is execution unit. Control unit mostly which is used to fetch all the details. Execution unit which is used to execute everything. So that's the concept of control unit and the execution unit. So the next important thing here is when we are going for embedded system, we are having a two different thing. One is microprocessor and another one is microcontroller. The people first needs to understand the difference between the microprocessor and the microcontroller. See, microprocessor, that is a CPU standalone, so only CPU will be there. So RAM, ROM, input port, everything will be separately it will be there. But when it comes to microcontroller, everything will be comes under in a single chip. So for example, CPU, RAM, ROM, everything will be comes in one single chip, that is known as microcontroller. So when it comes to your microprocessor, your designer can decide like the amount of RAM, ROM, and what are the IO ports are required. One designer can able to design everything. That's what your microprocessor is. But when it comes to microcontroller, we can't able to design. Everything is a predefined and a fixed amount. We should adjust everything based on the fixed amount. When it comes to microprocessor, processing power and power consumption will be higher. In microcontroller, processing power and power consumption will be low. So it will be 32 or 64-bit microprocessors will be. Microcontroller will comes under 8 or 16-bit. It's a general purpose, it's a single purpose. It's a highly reliable. Microcontroller is a very highly reliable and the microprocessor is less reliable. 8086, 8085 are some examples for microprocessor. When it comes to your microcontroller 8051, some kind of modern boards, everything will be comes under your micro controller only. So this is a difference between the microprocessor and the microcontroller. When we are going for the next thing is in components. So the very important thing in any electronics or embedded or IoT, whatever itself, components is a very important thing. We are having a two different kind of things. One is hardware and another one is software. So when it comes to hardware that is nothing but your processor or your times or your interrupt controller or IO devices or memories or code, that and all comes under your hardware. We are having a two different kind of software. One is RTS, another one is RTOS. RTS means real time system. Those system which will work in an particular time constraint. So, and it provide a time, if the time is not followed, if we are not following the particular time, we will held up with some critical situation. So if there is a timeline, means that particular timeline should be executed properly. So mostly the chemical industries, embedded devices and all will comes under this RTS only. RTOS means it's not based on any time. You can able to make your buffer time based on this. So this is the difference between your RTS and RTOS. So components or softwares used in your embedded. See, when it comes to hardware, we are having a processor, times, interrupt controller, all those things. When it comes to software, the main important thing in your embedded is C programming. So embedded C. So it is actually derived from C. First step, you should be very clear in C programming to understand what is embedded C. This is a programming language which is 100% written in C program, and it's actually the difference between a normal C and embedded C is embedded C can able to easily associate with the particular hardware architect. So PIC, ADML, AVR, ARM, those kind of processor can able to associate with this embedded C. So when you are going for this embedded C will comes with some additional header files. So apart from, for example, the basic C program like standard.io.h, it won't come with only the C program library. Embedded C will come with some additional hardware based header file. So there is another difference between embedded C and normal C. See, when you are going for software development in embedded, you should always think about not only software, we should always think about hardware as well. So we need to understand the basics of hardware and we need to understand basics of software. When you are going for basics of hardware, you need to understand power supply, SOM, SOC, all those things. So SOM means system on a module, SOC means system on a chip. So this and all, this is nothing but that is then combination of your memory, IO, and then it is a combination of your all the peripherals in a single chip. That's what your hardware basics is. When it comes to software basics, you should understand operating system, languages, and tools. So when it comes to operating system, you can able to go ahead with your normal Windows or Linux, any hardware system we can able to go, any operating system we can able to go ahead. When it comes to languages, we are having a lot of languages for embedded nowadays, C, C++, Python, JavaScript, everything we can able to go ahead. When you are going for a tools like that integrated development environment, like software which is used to develop a particular software, developing one programming language. So that's what IDE is. So as in software basics, we should be adapted to everything. So as an embedded development tools, first step we need to choose what editor that you are planning to use. So editor means GUI, which is used to execute the code. So Guinea is one example for that. Then compiler. So all the C programming is in compiler. So what kind of language translator that you are planning to use, that and all will comes under your compiler. So the next thing what we are actually going to do here is assembler. Assembler, that is nothing but the human readable language will be converted to machine readable language. That's what your assembler is. Then we should choose debugger which is a testing tool. Then we should choose linker, that is nothing but we should choose this combination of how to link this embedded with some executable program. So combining all the pieces together, that's what your linker is. Then emulator. So when it comes to emulator, the tool which is used to simulate the software performance, that's what your emulator is. So these tools and all we need to think about how to execute this and all we need to think about. So the next thing is what we need to think here is your GPOS and RTOS. GPOS means general purpose operating system. RTOS means real time operating system. So GPOS, it's nothing but mainly used in desktop PC. RTOS means it's mainly used in embedded application. So GPOS is based on process based, RTOS is based on time based. So when you are going for your GPOS and RTOS both, it is actually uh, operating system based stuff, both and all, both the stuff. So when it comes to GPOS, interrupt latency is not considered as important, but when you are going for RTOS, interrupt lag is minimal, which is used to measure in few microseconds. So as we are going for this embedded, we should be think about this GPOS, RTOS stuff also. So when we are going for your RTOS, we should follow some schematics. So for example, scheduler, symmetric multiprocessing, function library, memory management, fast dispatch latency, user-defined data objects and classes. This and all the things we need to always think about when you are going for your components in RTOS. And embedded system is mostly based on RTOS. It's not based on GPOS. The scheduler in RTOS is the component which is going to execute the task. So multiprocessing means a number of multiple different tasks that can be handled by RTOS. So parallel programming, this and all. Then function library, when you are going for a function library, it's going to interface and it's going to help you to connect your kernel and application code together. Memory management is very important for the system to allocate memory to every program. So the memory management is very important. Then fast dispatch latency, which is used to make an interval between termination of the task that can be identified by the OS. So this and all the components, when we are going for RTOS, we need to take care. When we are going for your embedded system, the hardware development. So this is a basic schematic of embedded system. So when you are going for this embedded, you need to go for microcontroller first. So when it comes to this microcontroller, it may be an 8051 or Atmega or whatever itself. We need to give some input and we need to get some output. So the input may be a sensor or switch or keypad or timer, whatever itself. And when it comes to your output, it may be in controllers like actuators, relays, switches, PWM, or it may be a notification like LED buzzer, or you can able to use some display unit and you can able to use some memory mapping device. This and all we can able to use. So in a board, you are having one microprocessor and the external peripherals. The entire board, the entire one single board will be considered as a microcontroller. So we are having a different types of embedded boards. When you are simply going for an embedded boards like PIC, Texas, AVR, ARM, this and all, and embedded boards examples. So the next thing is when you are going for the system hardware, we should always have some kind of architect, like we need to always think about the power supply and oscillators and then processors, timers, interrupt controllers, and then we need to taken care of the output interface, like if you are going to connect the relays to your circuit, means you need to think about how to interface an driver of relay with my hardware. And then serial communication port, parallel communication port, and then program memory, data memory, this and all needs to be defined properly. So when you are going for this embedded system types, we are having a different types of embedded systems. So that and all, like performance based and requirement based. So when you are going for industry, we have a small scale, medium scale, sophisticated industry, which is using an embedded system. Then we are having a real time standalone network and mobile. So real time standalone network and mobile, this and all something which is actually used in industries, the peoples are using within this types only. So embedded scope is, so most of the companies in startups and MNCs, they will use this embedded much. And nowadays, embedded C is actually upgrading to IoT. So the peoples who are trying to implement embedded, most of the peoples will prefer ARM boards. So embedded is combination of the hardware and the software. The person who wants to kickstart their career in embedded, they must be good in software and hardware both. Thank you.